A shadow war brews in the heart of West Africa. A young president survives an assassination attempt, and out of the smoke, a new player emerges. Russian special forces, landing not to conquer but to protect. But why is Russia investing so deeply in Burkina Faso? What hidden truths lie beneath this unfolding alliance? The world watches as the fate of a nation teeters on the edge. Russian special forces have reportedly landed in Burkina Faso, but not for war. But then, what is their mission? To protect President Ibrahim Traoré, who narrowly escaped a deadly assassination plot recently, as would have heard. But the question remains, why is Russia stepping into this high-stakes drama? What threat do they recognize that justifies such a bold move? As President Traoré faces increasing danger from enemies both foreign and domestic, Burkina Faso teeters on the edge of a political eruption. Let's unpack the story behind this explosive alliance. The recent thwarting of a major coup attempt underscores just how fragile the nation's stability has become. In response, Traoré has made a dramatic and controversial move, deploying Russian special forces to defend his regime and key government figures. This unexpected step raises serious questions about Burkina Faso's shifting geopolitical alliances, and just how far President Ibrahim Traoré is willing to go to shield himself from threats both within and beyond his borders. There have been multiple attacks recorded since his administration. Since assuming office in September 2022, the young leader has been under relentless pressure, barraged by internal dissent and external interference. Already plagued by insecurity, the country has become a battleground for insurgent groups operating with near impunity in the Sahel region. These factions have capitalized on the political chaos, targeting the government in their quest to expand influence across West Africa. The most recent coup attempt was just one in a string of carefully coordinated efforts by factions within the military and political elite to bring down Traoré's government. Just recently, in April 2025, the danger escalated when a well-orchestrated plan involving insurgent networks and both active and retired military personnel aimed to storm the presidential palace. This wasn't just a grab for power. The plot exposed a deeper conspiracy, one tied to foreign interests, competing for control over Burkina Faso's vast natural resources. Though shocking, this plot was not an isolated case. It's part of a pattern, an ongoing assault on Traoré's leadership. In the face of these threats, the Burkinabe government has been forced to act swiftly and decisively. President Traoré understood the gravity of the moment. Securing his leadership, and by extension the nation's fragile stability, became his top priority. The decision to call in Russian special forces wasn't made lightly. It was a signal to the world. The situation was dire, and action was needed immediately. These Russian commandos are not mere ceremonial guards. They are elite operatives, trained for high-stakes, high-risk missions. Their core objective? Protect President Ibrahim Traoré and top officials from further assassination attempts and any coordinated military or political insurrections. Their presence in the country marks a turning point in Burkina Faso's security landscape. These troops are actively engaged in bolstering security around key infrastructures, offering vital military expertise and reshaping the nation's defense strategy. They've also begun training the Burkinabe armed forces, imparting advanced tactics, counterintelligence methods, and surveillance techniques. This isn't just about improving military capacity. It's about fortifying an alliance. With Russia's help, Burkina Faso is building a more resilient defense system, better equipped to withstand the complex threats ahead. But this partnership is more than tactical. It reflects a major shift in Burkina Faso's foreign policy. President Traoré's choice to align with Russia marks a dramatic departure from the country's long-standing dependence on Western powers, particularly France. For years, French military forces were stationed in Burkina Faso as part of broader efforts to combat insurgencies in the Sahel. However, that relationship has soured. Many in Traoré's administration have come to see French involvement not as support, but as interference. The French military withdrawal from nearby Mali and the growing discontent with Western influence paved the way for Burkina Faso's turn toward Moscow. Unlike Western governments, Russia has offered its assistance with fewer political strings attached. To many African leaders, Moscow presents itself as a partner, one that respects sovereignty, autonomy, and the desire to break free from neo-colonial influence. Russia's involvement isn't just about safeguarding President Traoré. It's about positioning itself as a long-term strategic ally in Africa. And for many in Burkina Faso, that's a welcome change. This move is also a response to the failure of Western-backed counterinsurgency efforts, particularly France's Operation Barkhane, which failed to stem the tide of extremist violence across the region. While French forces were perceived by many locals as occupiers, Russia is seen, at least for now, as a force of practical support. One that does not preach democracy or human rights while secretly pursuing its own interests. Russia's increasing presence in the Sahel reflects a larger realignment in Africa. As Western influence wanes, Russia is filling the vacuum, offering arms, training, and strategic support to governments eager for alternatives. Burkina Faso, rich in natural resources like gold, is an attractive partner. And Russia is eager to invest in mining, infrastructure, energy, and military cooperation. By working with Russia, Burkina Faso is not just securing military aid, it's also sending a powerful message. The era of blind allegiance to former colonial powers is over. President Traoré's alliance with Moscow is, in many ways, a bold declaration of independence. It taps into a growing Pan-African sentiment, one that rejects foreign meddling and seeks to chart a new course for the continent. Russia, for its part, has long positioned itself as a friend of post-colonial nations, an image cultivated since the Cold War. While Russia's own global ambitions are not without controversy, many in Africa view the country as a counterweight to the West's dominance. For Burkina Faso, this isn't just about ideology, it's about survival. Caught in a cycle of instability, faced with insurgencies, coup plots, and economic fragility, the country needs reliable partners. And for now, Russia fits the bill. As Moscow continues to expand its influence across Africa, Burkina Faso might become a model for others in the Sahel. Countries also disillusioned with Western promises and looking for new alliances. But what does this mean for the future? The deployment of Russian special forces has undoubtedly changed the game. Whether this bold move will bring stability or entangle Burkina Faso in deeper geopolitical struggles remains to be seen. What is clear is that a new chapter has begun, one in which Burkina Faso is redefining its place in the global order and deciding, on its own terms, who it trusts to walk beside it. But here's the real question. If Russia is truly concerned about Traoré's safety, why? What's at stake? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you believe in the liberation of Africa, add your voice to the conversation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more thought-provoking stories and updates like this. Right here on Africa Rises. Africa is no longer silent.